私がすることなど無駄なんかじゃない。守るんだ。黙れ。
Subscribe and press that bell icon to get all our latest video notifications. Majo no Tabi Tabi. Genres: adventure, magic, fantasy. Since childhood, Elena has always been fascinated by the stories written within her favorite book, especially those about Nike, a renowned witch who had numerous great travels across the world. Wanting to experience the awe of adventure herself, Elena strives to become a witch, and despite the numerous trials that come her way, she eventually succeeds. Now, a full-fledged witch, Elena finally embarks on her long-awaited journey, in which she meets many people along the way, learning their various stories. Through all of this, she explores the world at its fullest, experiencing both its bright and dark sides, starting her legendary time.
何してんの
3秒ルールのデモンストレーション。
3秒ルールってあるか。いくらローカルルールだって。で、
感想は
すっげえ柔らかかったって何言わせるの。だからアキコ戻ってこい。
Oni-chan Daikido Aisai Areba Kankanai Yone. Genres: comedy, romance, ecchi. After their parents' deaths, brother and sister Akito and Akiko Himanakoji were forced to live with separate families for 6 years. But now, they have finally reunited and begin to live together. It quickly becomes apparent that Akiko harbors romantic feelings for her brother. However, Akito only sees her as a sibling. When 3 more girls, Anastasia Nasuhara, Arishi Nikado, and Ginbei Harumi Sawatari, move into their apartment, Akiko's hopes of living alone with her brother vanish. Moreover, these girls also like Akito in one way or another, making it even more difficult for Akiko to gain her brother's undivided attention. As the girls fight over who should take care of Akito, they display various eroticisms that may be a little too...
だるまさんが転んだ。ちょっと落ち着いて。頼む、話をしたいだけなんだ。
王子さん、そういういきなりなのは良くないです。とても良くないと思うです。
あずきあった。
Hentai Oji to Warawanai Neko. Genres: comedy, romance, supernatural. Yuto Yokadera wants to be seen in a way different from most men, as a pervert. However, his lewd actions are often misinterpreted as good intentions, and people cannot see his true nature. Upon hearing rumors of a cat statue that can banish an unwanted trait, he searches for it and prays for his facade to be removed. But each wish comes at a price. Those unwelcome traits are transferred to someone else who desires them. After realizing that vocalizing his dirty thoughts is not the best thing, Yuto decides to regain his lost traits by seeking out the person who received them. Unfortunately, he was not alone in praying to the cat statue, and now he must not only fix his life, but the lives of others as well. Osana Najimi Gazetai ni Makinai Love Comedy. Genres: comedy, romance. Suhara Maru is childhood best friends with one of the Hozumino High School's most popular girls, Kuroha Shida. Cute, outgoing, and affectionate, Kuroha is the perfect older sister type. She has boys constantly begging at her feet to be with her. Yet, when she confesses to Suhara one day, he immediately rejects her. He just can't think of her in that way. Besides, he already has his sights set on his first love, school idol and renowned author Shirokusa Kachi. Suhara believes that he has a chance with Kachi after one fateful meeting, but soon he finds out that Kachi has a boyfriend. With his dreams now shattered, Suhara agonizes over what could have been. That is, until Kuroha approaches him with a proposal. Let's get revenge.
Tomomi?
だってデートなんだもん。こういうのもありでしょ。
Ladies vs. Butlers. Genres: harem, comedy, romance, ecchi, school. Hino Akiharu lost his parents when he was small and was adopted into his uncle's family. He didn't want to be a burden on his uncle's family and decides to enter a free boarding school as a butler, Harikaryu High School. However, his delinquent boy-like appearance frightens the girls, who make up the majority of the students. Unable to get along with the classmates, Akiharu meets his childhood crush, Saikyu.
操作ミスなら仕方ないな。こんな。
おい来たぞ
せい。
Boku wa Tomodachi ga Sukinai. Genres: comedy, romance, slice of life, ecchi. When Kodaka Hasegawa finds out that he will be transferring to a new school, he is determined to make a positive impression and maybe even some friends. However, Kodaka discovers he is out of luck when he immediately gets labeled as a violent delinquent due to his blonde hair and intimidating expression. Although a month has passed, Kodaka is still alone thanks to his notorious reputation. However, his life begins to change when he finds fellow loner Yozora Mikazuki talking to her imaginary friend in an empty classroom. After sharing stories of their lonely high school life, Kodaka and Yozora decide to overcome the difficulties of making friends together by starting the Neighbors Club. Created for people who don't have friends, daily activities involve learning social skills and how to fit in, which will hopefully allow them to make friends. Joined by the Eroge-loving Senakashi Wazaki and other eccentric outcasts, Kodaka may finally have managed to find people he can call friends in this club filled with hilarious oddballs. And completely unrelated, totally asking for a friend, where do I sign up for?
近すぎるその勝負待ったどうやら間に合ったようだな工作いかだ
Norin. Genres: comedy, romance, ecchi. Idol-obsessed Kosaka Hata is left devastated when his favorite, Yuka Kusakabe, unexpectedly announces her retirement at the peak of an illustrious career. As Yuka's biggest fan, this news proves to be more difficult than he can bear. Shaken to his very core, he sinks into depression and places himself in self-imposed isolation. However, on the day his friends manage to convince him to attend school again, he gets a pleasant surprise. It turns out that his beloved idol, under the guise of Ringo Kinoshita, has transferred into his class. This miraculous development fills Kosaka with newfound resolve as he dedicates himself to take advantage of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. With the support of his teacher and friends, Kosaka works towards getting close to the girl of his dreams and uncovering the reason for her retirement from the entertainment.
諦められなくなるじゃない。私が諦めるためにも。私もせん。
Kanajo mo Kanajo. Genres: comedy, romance. After harboring an unrequited love for years, Nayo Mukai finally gets to date his childhood friend Saki Saki. However, just as he tries to commit himself to this relationship, he receives an abrupt confession from Nagisa Minase. At first, Naoya tries to reject her, but is soon overcome by feelings of not wanting to hurt Nagisa. Trying to avoid betraying his girlfriend's trust in him, Naoya thinks up a solution to make both girls happy: two-timing. Naturally, Saki rebuffs this idea, but through Naoya's and Nagisa's persistence, she reluctantly submits. With this, a three-way affair begins between Naoya, his girlfriend, and his other girlfriend as they develop a relationship.
これがお嫁さんの着てた服触ったら怒られるのかなでも下着じゃないし
ああ、やっぱ先輩も男の子なんすね。
うわーカラメちゃんいつからそこに
あれはもう今夜から楽しみっすね。
絶対
Tonikaku Kawaii. Genres: comedy, romance, shonen. Nasa Yuzaki is determined to leave his name in the history books. Ranking first in the national mock exam and aiming for a distinguished high school, he is certain that he has his whole life mapped out. However, fate is a fickle mistress. On his way home one snowy evening, Nasa's eyes fall upon a peerless beauty across the street. Bewitched, Nasa tries to approach her, only to get blindsided by an oncoming truck. Thankfully, his life is spared due to the girl's swift action. Bleeding by the side of an ambulance, he watches as the girl walks away under the moonlight, reminiscent of the Princess Kaguya leaving for the moon. Refusing to let this chance meeting end, he forces his crippled body to chase after her and asks her out. Surprised by his foolhardiness and pure resolve, the girl accepts his confession under a single condition. They can only be together if he marries her.
下から着せるわね
Megami Ryo no Ryobo-kun. Genres: comedy, romance, ecchi. 12-year-old Koshi Nagumo's life suddenly goes downhill when his father abandons him after their house burns down. Left to fend for himself, Koshi collapses on the street, but an eccentric woman named Mineru Wachi takes pity on him and brings him to the female dormitory Megami Ryu. After learning of Koshi's situation, Mineru, who happens to be the temporary manager, invites him to become Megami Ryu's official dormitory mother. However, what awaits him are the dorm's residents, each with their own wacky shenanigans, like the androphobic yet gentle Atene Satome, the feminine tomboy Kiria Sensho, and Mineru herself, whose recklessness knows no bounds when it comes to science. Despite this, Koshi does his best to fulfill the duties of this crazy new life.